Well, it's totally different from the last assignment. All right.
I like graphics better.
No, it's algebra. All right, here we go. So, when I do, let's say 3 to the 4th, what does that mean, 3 to the 4th? Right, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, what is 3 to the 2nd?
3 times 3.
3 times 3. Okay, so it's not 6, right? It's actually 9. So, if I did 3 to the 4th times 3 to the 2nd, what would that be the same thing as?
3 times 4.
3 to the 6th. Okay, by the way, if it ever says leave it, if it ever says leave it in exponential form, this is what it means. Just leave, don't solve it, don't put it in your calculator, just, well, most of today it's going to look more like this, actually. A to the 4th times A to the 2nd equals A to the 6th. So if, come on, be quiet. That's like number 1. That's not like the whole assignment. Okay, so when you multiply the same base, you add the exponents. You guys know what a base is?
It's not.
Okay, if a number has an exponent, the number is called the base, and this power is called an exponent. Power and exponent mean the same thing. Okay, so a to the 4th times a squared is a to the 6th. Okay, but what if I had like a to the 4th squared? What does that mean?
A to the 8th.
It means a to the 4th times a to the 4th. And if we're multiplying the same base, what do we do with the exponents? Add. So this is a to the 8th.
What number do we start showing the worst?
Okay, just listen for now. So these, when you have a power to another power, basically what needs to happen? Multiply. 4 plus 4 is like 4 times 2, right? So these are basically just multiplied. All right, do you guys see the difference between this and this?
Yeah.
This is part of the problem that people get these two confused. Okay, this one, a times a, you add the exponents. This one is a to the power to another power, you multiply the exponents. Okay. How about this? A to the 8th over a cubed. What do you guys think about that one? Right. So if multiplying adds the powers, what about here? Let me make it smaller so I can write it out. A to the 5th means this, and a cubed means this. So what happens is kind of like when you reduce fractions. You know how if you have like 4/8, you can divide by 4, divide by 4. So if you divide by a, they just cancel out. So what's happening is a subtraction. It's 5 minus 3. So it's just a times a squared. Somebody's visiting. All right, pretend like you're good students.
We're so good. We have to pretend.
I was talking to you, bro.
Mr. Jordan, there's teacher snacks.
Oh.
You better come get
Oh, don't be so surprised. You're
I do.
HT2 of them.
Yes, you're doing it.
Just be like, HT.
Justice for John.
He's like, oh. Ready for the
HT2. It's HT2O.
Where'd the paper go?
It's
I love it. So
My head already broke.
it's really good.
There's chicken,
Yes, it is. That was the first one I tried. It was that
and now I'm hungry.
I wish I was too fun. Did you get everything?
Yeah, you're a teacher, you get
Get food. No. apparent reason.
What'd you get?
What'd you get? Hot dogs. Oh, I thought I saw.
You could've got me something.
Chicken minis.
He thought it was tacos.
Oh my gosh, you're making us
Don't get it,
boys. Yeah.
No, I want.
I want one. I don't even know where to buy one at.
Chick-fil-A.
You don't know where to buy chicken minis?
She's a Chicken Express.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
You're so.
wait.
Different.
Almost.
Yes.
Okay,
Which we don't like.
Did you get yours?
so Brian said, what if there's more on bottom than the top?
Negative.
Wow.
Well, kinda. 3 minus 5 is a to the negative 2. But what happens is there's just more a's on bottom, so you're going to be left with a couple a's on bottom. So this is like 1 over a squared, which is the same thing as a to the negative 2. Okay, this is tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about that today. But we'll talk about that more tomorrow. You still subtract, but a negative exponent just means an exponent upside down. I feel like a to the negative 2 is like a to the negative 2 over 1, and it equals 1 over a squared. That's what a negative exponent does. That's tomorrow, actually. I wouldn't have mentioned it. But, okay, number 1. So, anybody think they know what that is? Brian, let's start with Brian. Or, sorry, Luke. Let's start with Luke. Forget something? Okay, Luke.
X to the 8.
X to the 8. If you multiply the same base, you add the exponents. There's nothing to show on these. Well, maybe a little bit at the bottom, but there's not much. Okay, number 3. Hannah, what do you think? Any ideas?
You add the x's to the
Oh.
x's.
Right,
These together and the y's.
right. The x exponents and the y exponents, yeah. So we got x to the what?
X to the 75 and y to the
Yeah. And that doesn't simplify anymore. X times y does not simplify, so that's all you can do. They're still multiplied together. X7 times y7, you just put them next to each other. You were correct. Number 5. Manny, what do you think on 5? Any ideas?
You would add the exponents and multiply it 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Why the 8?
Oh,
For 3.
I didn't really look. So, yeah, you're right. The y's are 3 plus 2.
So it's X is 7, Y is a 5th.
Right, that should have been the 5th.
Oh, we're
Okay, sorry, Manny. Say that again, please.
So
Shh.
you'd add the exponents together and multiply the bases.
Right. So, does the order of multiplication matter?
No.
No. So, can we do 3 times 4?
Yes.
Yes. So, 3 times 4 is 12. Just do normal multiply. And when you go for the w's, you do add the exponents. W times w would be w to the 7th. Oh, by the way, that's a good question. So, I think we might have done this before. What if I just do x times x? Okay, if there's no exponent, what's the exponent right here? 1. So x times x is x squared. Have we done that before?
Yeah, I think we have.
Oh, like when we FOIL and stuff? Have we FOILed in this class? Okay, maybe not. Alright, maybe we've done that a little bit, I don't know. I lose track of everything. Okay, number 7 is different. You guys see what's different on 7?
There's parentheses.
Right, parentheses. We have a power to a power. Now, normally when you have normal numbers with parentheses, what does that mean?
You just
Multiply. And with exponents, happens to be the same thing here. So this would actually be a power to power is multiply. So it is a to the 12th. Okay. So there's a little bit of order of operations in this assignment. What comes first, powers or exponents? Now parentheses comes first, but can we do anything inside these parentheses? No. So what comes first, powers or exponents or multiply? Exponents. So we do this exponent first before we multiply over here. So what do we do with these exponents? Right, so this is c to the 8. So we got c to the 8 times c to the 5th, c to the 13th. So we multiplied the 2 and 4 and added the 5. Okay. Negative 2 b squared c d5. Alright, did I copy that right? Yeah, alright. So how would I do this? Well, what does it mean when you square something? What does that mean? You take the whole thing times itself, right? So when you do the whole thing times itself, that's like negative 2 times negative 2. It's b squared times b squared. It's c times c. It's d5 times d5. So really all of these, when you square one big term, really all of these things inside are just being squared. So it's kind of like, it's not really what we call it, but it's like the distributive property. Like all of these things are being squared. Because we're taking everything times itself. Does that make sense? So, what is negative 2 squared? What's negative 2 times negative 2? Positive 4. Anytime you square a negative, it should come out positive. And the negative does need to be in parentheses to be squared. If it's not in parentheses, it doesn't work. Yeah? Alright, just put it in the box. We'll get to it. Alright, so now what am I going to do with these exponents? Am I adding or multiplying? Multiplying. Now 2 plus 2 is the same as 2 times 2, but we are multiplying here. So that is b to the 4th. Okay, c to the what? Okay, that's basically c to the 1, right? So this is 1 times 2, c squared, d to the 10. That's it. Well, I guess this assignment's not too bad. It's more, I think I'm just thinking more of tomorrow's. Although this, I mean, we do need to be careful on this one too. 13, 2a squared. Okay, so just think of these are all just things multiplied together. It's 2 times a squared times negative 5 times b cubed. Does order multiplication matter? No. So we can just multiply whatever we want to wherever we can. So what can we multiply together? What can we simplify? 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Does a squared times b cubed get any simpler? No. So those just are going to stay a squared b cubed. You don't like 16? Well, it's about the same as 15, 13, and 17. So, yeah, but we are in the B section, so it might be a little trickier. All right. So again, we're just multiplying stuff together. Order of multiplication doesn't matter. So we multiply whatever we can. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Okay, how about this? A times A cubed.
A to the third.
No,
A to
right, because what are we doing to the exponents when we do A times A?
the fourth.
Adding. So A times A cubed is A to the fourth. You're multiplying four A's together, basically. So it's A4. B times B,
B
B squared. C times C,
C squared.
5x cubed. Okay, I accidentally put one of these, I put one of these, we kind of did stuff like this in chapter 1, like for one day. So it turned out to be on the semester final, but I kind of repented of that and didn't count it off. I don't think anybody got this one right. Something like this. Okay, so what comes first, exponents or multiplication?
Exponents.
Exponents. So what that means is we're going to have to cube this and square this. Okay, we can't really do anything inside parentheses. 2 times x doesn't simplify, 5 times x cubed doesn't simplify. So the next thing is exponents. And then the last thing is the multiply between these two. So exponents first. So 5 cubed, what's 5 times 5 times 5? 5 times 5 is
25.
5 quarters,
125.
125, like $1.25. But 5 times 25 is 125. Just put it in there. I guess I'll just keep parentheses for now. And this will be x to the what? Are we adding or multiplying there?
Multiply.
Multiplying. This is x to the 9th. Okay, 2 squared, 2 times 2 is 4. X
X squared.
squared, yeah, you can think of it as 1 times 2, which is x squared. Okay, then we save the multiply after the exponents. So we're doing this times this. 125 times 4. Well, 125 times 2 is 250. And then 2 250s make 500. So anyway, 4 of those make 500. Okay, on the x's, this is where people start getting it wrong. Because we're going from exponents to multiplication. So are we supposed to be adding or multiplying these exponents? Adding. Because we're doing x times x. So that is x to the 11th. So you see how it's tricky? It jumps back and forth between multiplying and adding. And that's when people get confused. X3, Y, Z, 8. -5, X3, Y, Z, 6. Alright, oh, did I move somebody? No, I moved forward to the back table. Okay, Mallory, no, yeah, Mallory, what should we do first on this one? Yeah,
We forgot one more.
did I forget something?
18x.
Huh?
There's 18x.
18x.
I'm looking at the wrong one.
He's looking at the wrong one.
Never mind.
Okay, so we do the exponent first, so everything in here needs to be squared. So what's -3 squared? What's -3 times -3? 9. Okay, what do we do with this exponent? 3x cubed squared? multiply, yes, x6, y squared, z16. Okay, now there is no exponent on the second one, so we're just going to leave that the same. Okay, now what do I do?
9 times negative.
Right, multiply these two terms together. 9 times negative 5. Okay, x6 times x3, are we adding or multiplying? Adding. x6 times x cubed is x to the 9th. Y squared times y. Now, a couple of you test takers weren't in here. When there's no exponent on the y, what exponent is on the y? 1. So when I do y squared times y, how many y's am I multiplying together? 3. 2 plus 1. It's y times y times y. So it's y cubed.
So, must be number 4.
Nah, I'm not going to go back and reteach it. Okay. I might reteach it after I get done. If more people come in, but. Okay, z16 times z6. Z to the 22. Okay. 21. We're flying through. Man, I don't want to copy all that down. But I need something to point at. So. I'm just copying the book down. You guys don't need to look at the board for that. Yeah. Oh yeah. There, you need to go to Mr. Totino's room. Got your calculator?
Do you add or multiply?
Yeah. All right. Avery, what do you think we should do first on this one? 21. The 2 exponent, yeah, there's exponents all over the place, but yeah, that exponent first. 1/3 squared. Can you guys do that without a calculator?
2/3.
Okay, 1/9. Because it's 1 over 1 times 3 over 3, right? 1/3 times 1/3. Yeah, 1/3 squared means 1/3 times 1/3. So it's 1 times 1, 3 times 3. So it's just 1/9. I'll put it down here. 1/9. Okay. X to the 6th. Y to the 4th. Z second. 1 times 2 you could say. So z to the 2nd. Alright, now these other guys don't have exponents on them. So, I'll copy them down again.
21 has 3.
Oh, 20.
You missed the 3 after the second one.
3 on this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, 2 to the 3rd. Not 6, don't say 6. 2 to the 3rd.
6.
Oh,
You're fired.
8.
Okay, 2 times 2 is 4 times 2. Okay, x to the 9th. y to the z to the third. Okay. Now, done with the exponents, time to multiply. How are we gonna multiply? Any ideas?
No.
1/9 times
Just add,
8 times
but
18.
yeah.
Okay, 1/9 times 8 times 18. Two of those are easy to multiply together.
16.
1/9, what's 1/9 of 18?
2.
Oh,
So do you just add
What do you
like
say?
terms? Is that what you do?
basically, yeah.
I'm multiplying the stuff together that can. When you have all of this is multiplied, it's that times that times that times that times that times that. Now, does order of multiplication matter?
No.
No. Can I simplify 1/9 times x to the 6?
No.
Can I simplify 1/9 times 8 times 18?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm multiplying together what stuff can be
So the 8,
simplified.
so the 8 is not connected to the x to the 9th, and the y to the 6th is.
Everything's connected. Everything's multiplied together.
John, you're about to be
It's one big multiply problem.
You're about to be so confused. Really pray for you, John. Enjoy.
Okay, 1/9 times 18. How did he know it was 2? Basically, this happens, right? Remember? 1/9 times 18. Right?
Yep.
Okay, so it's 2. Times this 8, 2 times 8 is 16. So all those numbers multiply to 16. Okay, and then I have x to the 6 times x to the 9th.
X to the
17, 16.
15.
15, x to the 15th times another x, 16, x to the 16th.
Oh, I get it.
After I'm done, I'll go back to the beginning and,
Why did the 2?
We should just like
Oh.
go through the odds all over again.
well, I'm not sure about all of them, but,
We should go over.
okay, y to the 4th, you guys might have to watch the video if you don't get it. Y to the 4th times y to the 6th,
Y to the 10th.
y to the 10th, that's all the y's. And then we have z squared, z to the 3rd, z to the 5th.
It's really not much.
So is that like all?
Is there anything else we could do? No, that's it. Simplify just means do as much as you can, make it as small as you can, basically.
That's what study, that's what computer is for.
Okay, we're actually almost at the end though. 23.
Oh, that's next.
There is something different about 23. Can you guys tell what it is?
Some of them are exponents.
There's 2 C's and 2 B's in a row.
No, that's not the bit. That's not the important part.
Oh, it's adding.
Okay, there's adding and subtracting on 23 through 26. Okay, which means there's multiple terms. Technically, everything above number 23 is a bunch of stuff multiplied together. Technically, that's one term. Like this is one term. But on 23, when there's a bunch of things added and subtracted, like 23 has 3 terms. And you can only add or subtract what? Fill in the blank. I always say this phrase over and over. You can only add and subtract like terms. So what we're going to do is simplify each term in itself. The adding and subtracting comes at the end, right? And then if any terms are like terms, we are going to add or subtract them together. Okay, so this is term number 1. Can I simplify this?
First 2 is actually 3.
This is a 3. Okay, can I simplify this? C times C, C squared. So 3b squared, c squared. Now, the order doesn't matter, but usually if you keep everything in alphabetical order, it might help you down the road. So c squared b is the same thing as b times c squared, right? The reason you might change it to alphabetical order is to see, it'll be easier to see if there's any like terms, if they're all written the same. These two are the same, so you don't really have to change it, but anyway, the last term, so that doesn't simplify, the last term becomes 2b squared c squared. Okay, are any of those three like terms?
Yes. All.
No, not all of them. Which one's different? This one is kind of the oddball out, right? Because it only has one b, unless I copied it wrong. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so, but these two are both b squared, c squared. Okay, so like the first and the last, because they're like terms, can be added together. So 3 of these plus 2 of these. Okay, let me back up for a second. What's 2x plus 3x? 5x. Not 5x squared. Okay, the exponents did not change, right? What's 2x times 3x? That is 6x squared. So my point is, when we're adding, the exponents do not change. 2x squared plus 3x squared would be 5x squared. Okay, so when I'm adding these, 3 of these plus 2 of these equals 5 of these. So it's 5b squared c squared. Okay, when did we add the exponents? That is when we were multiplying the bases. But we're not multiplying right now, so the exponents do not change. Okay, and this guy's kind of by himself, so he's not going to change either. So it's just minus bc squared.
Yeah.
Okay, 25. Oh, man. All right. Maybe I won't write the whole thing down. Does the first term on 25 simplify?
No.
No, it does not. Just 5x5, y to the fourth. Can't do that. What can we do to the second term on 25? We got x to the third times x on the second term. So that would be x to the fourth. Then I see y squared times y to the third. That would be y to the fifth. So we're just multiplying inside each term. I didn't write the problem down, I'm just looking at the book on 25. The third term says plus 2. I'm going to put my x's in front just so it's in alphabetical order so they all look the same. So x squared times x cubed is x to the fifth. And then I see a y squared times y squared, y to the fourth. And then the last term is just this, so it doesn't simplify. Okay, let's identify, are there any like terms?
Yes.
Okay, the first term is like which other term? This one?
Yes.
Is x to the fifth same thing as x to the fourth? No, this one. The first and the third terms are like terms. How about these two? Are they alike?
Yes.
Yeah. These are both x fourth, y fifths. So we're going to put these two together, first and third, and these two together, second and fourth. Now we're adding 5 plus 2 of these make 7 of those. Exponents don't change.
Is it negative? Yeah. Doesn't it?
Oh, whoops. And then I was trying to write equals, but I didn't mark it, I guess. Negative 5 minus 1 of these make negative 6 of those.
You're not multiplying them?
No. When do you add the exponents? That's when you multiply. Right now we're adding and subtracting. We're doing minus and plus and minus. All right. I also threw in 31 and 32 for fun.
Thank you.
It's like watching a soccer.
Look how short it is, though. X to the n times x to the third. Okay, what do we do when we multiply x the same base? What do we do with the exponents? Add. Does n plus 3, do those simplify?
No.
No. So the exponent's just going to be n plus 3.
Wow.
N, x to the n plus 3. That's how you write it. See, short and sweet. So on 32, what are we going to have to do?
Same thing.
Distributive property.
No.
Oh.
Okay, when you multiply the same base, what do you do with the exponents? Add. So what are we adding on 32?
Would be
X plus
the x's.
X plus
5 minus
5 minus x.
what?
You got x plus 5 minus x. Now you don't really need parentheses here, but that plus that, right? We're adding the exponents. Adding the exponents. What does that simplify to?
Oh.
Alright, x minus x is 0, so it's just 5. Okay, that's not the answer. That's the exponent.
2 to the 5th.
Yeah. Don't simplify it, even though it's a number. Don't change it into anything else.
Don't
Just,
change it.
just leave it in exponential form, 2 to the 5th. Okay,